Let's learn about relative clauses. First, let's look at an example.
Here's an example of a relative clause in English. The area between the commas, starting with the relative pronoun who, until a sword, indicates a description of the man. Definition of a relative clause.
Go.
In this case, the man is the antecedent, as who refers to the subject of the sentence. Now let's take a look at a Latin sentence.
Now let's look at an example of a relative clause in Latin. In the sentence, viri qui ridas agunt sunt irati, meaning, the men who drive the carriages are angry. In this sentence, we can recognize the relative pronoun of qui and the antecedent of viri. The relative clause here extends from qui, our relative pronoun, to agunt, our verb. Now let's go into more detail about the relative pronoun. Here is the relative pronoun declined in the singular. The relative pronoun always agrees with its antecedent in gender and number. Its case, however, is determined by its syntax within the relative clause. Here we can see the plural forms of the relative pronoun. Memorization of these will help greatly in recognizing both relative pronouns and relative clauses.
Here's an example of a Latin sentence that demonstrates what we were learning about earlier with the relative pronoun. Now, the relative pronoun in this sentence is quo. Now, quo matches its antecedent, ager, in gender and number, as quo is masculine and singular, just like ager is. However, its case does not match the subject of the sentence, the nominative. Instead, it matches or it corresponds to the use of the relative pronoun within the relative clause, marked by these two parentheses. As we translate the sentence, the farm in which my brother was working, we can see that quo is used in the form of the ablative, as it goes with the preposition in. And that's exactly how the relative pronoun can be used within a sentence to help identify what the sentence means, as well as how the relative clause fits within the overall context of the statement.
That's all, folks.